All right, man, let's talk about the Detroit Lions heading to Kansas City Thursday, September 7th. Um, ring night, banner night, whatever you want to call it for Kansas City. So let's do a prediction, preview, whatever you want to call it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. I'll have a betting video later this week. I'll cover that in the video. Um, Betting the odds. Just it was halftime for Florida State LSU, so I was watching that game. It's pretty good. Um, but uh, but yeah, man. Week one kicking off. We go through the week one schedule real quick and see who are playing. We kick off the NFL season. We're brought to Kansas City to be sacrificial lambs. It's exactly what it is. Um, that's the honest truth. It's the old slip on the banana peel. That's what they want. They want the Lions to get all this hype and then show this the same old Lions. And majority of Lions fans got the mindset of, oh, we just hopefully the Lions keep it close. Hopefully the Lions just competitive and we can get a moral victory. And I feel that Lions fans got to get out of that mentality. If they lose by a field goal, they lose by 55 points. I feel that no more moral victories. If you want to bend the corner of an actual franchise, I remember the game where Golden Tate knee hit the ground. It really didn't. And they took the Atlanta Falcon game away from us a few years ago. And Mike Valenti turned around and said, well, you have a real good football team here. And I finally feel that they have a great football team. And they still went to be a pedestrian football team or an average football team around the National Football League. Until they get over the hump in a game like this, I don't think anything is turned around. No moral victories, no blaming the refs, no bad calls. If they win this game, I think the hype is validated. Not saying that it's gonna mean anything because it's the Lions and injuries happen and this, that, and the third can happen. But anything less than a victory here, their hype is not valid. No matter how they lose, they lost. And that's what it is. So if they really want to change perception and they really want to show the NFL that they're gonna kick the door down, waving the fofo, talk about Biggie don't hit me no more, they gotta win. So if they don't win, they lose by half a point, they lose by an inch, they lose by the bogus call. Guess what? They lost. They lost. I don't want to hear it. They lost. So don't sell me moral victory. Don't seem like, oh, this loss feels a little bit different. We've been there, done that. They have to win it. But let's kind of look at week one real quick. Obviously, Lions Chiefs is said to be 87 degrees that day, but it's gonna be later in the day, so it's probably gonna be in the 70s. Panthers Falcons. You know, interesting game to be honest. Two franchises starting, two young quarterbacks. Interesting. I'm thinking about going to this Cleveland game, honestly. Hell yeah, I'm thinking about driving down there, going to Cleveland, getting a nosebleed ticket. I'm thinking about going to Cleveland. If Joe Burrow's play, I might be in Cleveland on Sunday. I'm thinking about it. Even if I had to go by myself, I might go to that game. It's a 3-hour drive. Been in Cleveland before. I've been in Cincinnati. Joe was Cincinnati before. So yeah, I'm thinking that's a great game. So this is the best game I've seen so far. Jacksonville and the Colts, another. I think Jacksonville is phenomenal in what they're doing, getting Ridley and what they're doing down there. They're a phenomenal franchise, and love to see Anthony Richardson. Bucks and Vikings. I expect the Vikings to blow that spread of 7 points, blow that out the water. The Bucks crash. They'll be in the running for Caleb Williams. Titans and Saints. They're in Louisiana. Yeah, it's an interesting game. I'll let's see what used car can do and D Hop and them can do. So it's a solid game. Steelers and 49ers might be the second best game if Joe Burrow don't play. It might be the best game if Joe Burrow don't play. They in Pittsburgh. See Brock Purdy return versus Steelers. Heard the Steelers look good in 75 degrees out there too. 49ers hit a lick going out the early season. I heard that Kenny Pickett looking pretty good this offseason and preseason. Cardinals and Commanders, hogwash. Nobody cares. Houston, Texas, and Ravens, seeing Lamar and CJ Stroud. I think Stroud is really going to struggle. Really not a game. Packers and Bears kick off the 4 o'clock window. It's no 4:05 game. It don't look like that day neither. Interesting game. Love to see Fields. Love to see Love. Raiders and Broncos. Not really interested. More so seeing the Denver Broncos under Sean Payton. Eagles and Patriots 4-2. The 4 o'clock window is ass. Excuse my language. Honestly, I don't care about none of these games. Maybe Love and Fields. That's about it. I don't care about the Eagles and Patriots at all, even though it's in Foxborough. Dolphins and Chargers. That's the best 4 o'clock game so far. Really good one. Love Burrow. I love Justin Herbert. I love the Bosa boy too over there. Rams and Seahawks. That Stafford trash. Don't really care. And then Sunday night it rounds up with the Cowboys and Giants. Solid game. Solid week 1 game. So I would say the game of the week. Bills and Jets a good one too. I say the Bills and Jets the game of the week. Then it's 49ers Steelers. Cleveland and Bengals all in the running for that. So I just wanted to get through that real quick. So but our game of the week in Detroit is Kansas City, and this is one of them games that's up there as well too. Chris Jones will not play. I think it'd be foolish for him to play, even if he's healthy. It's foolish, like Ashanti. The matchup predictor is giving Kansas City a 66.2% chance of uh of winning, us a 33.5% chance of winning. Um, it's usually a percentage for a tie in there too, so I don't know. I guess there ain't no tie. Um, so injury report: St. Brown questionable. Jameson, we know he gone for 6 weeks. Emmanuel Mosley questionable. Julian Okoye IR. Jamar Jefferson IR for them. Chris Jones in contract dispute. Cardavius Toney and Darius Sneed, receiver cornerback, questionable, and Jerome Gavin, the guard, is injured. So, I kind of look at this game. Uh, I think one of the things that has to happen here, and I start with Kansas City, the champs. You want to establish the run, and once you're able to establish the run, then you can get it to Justin Ross, and then you can get it to Cardavius Toney and Scott Moore. Then you're gonna be able to get it to some of them other guys out there, and that's gonna be interesting to see the maturity of Sky Moore, what Justin Ross can bring to the table, what Cardavius Toney. That's gonna be huge this year about what they can do on the outside, and what they able to do on the outside is pretty much going to determine, how dangerous and potent Travis Kelce going to be this year. But they want to run the ball, get the ball to Travis Kelce, and if they can get some things going on outside to Toney, Sky Moore, Justin Ross, and they can contribute on the outside, Kansas City is going to be tough to beat because now Pacheco can run the ball. He can catch it. Then you got McKinnon, who's made a full recovery. It looks good. Catch it out the backfield. And then, Travis Kelce going to kill the middle of the field and outside the numbers. And then you got those speedy receivers on the outside that can do some things. So, and then defensively for them, not having Chris Jones, who perhaps might be the best defensive player in the league, it's hard to master, put a statistical number on what he does. But in the middle of that defense, he makes everything go to penetration or stopping the run, rushing the passer. He opens up everything for them. So guys like George Kafalidis and some of those guys that they got over there, everybody gonna have to take a step up. I can see this being a shootout. I don't want to get in a shootout with my homeboy. He one of my favorite quarterbacks. Not gonna lie. Yeah, you don't want to get in a shootout with my homeboy, but I do think they're an explosive football bunch. And Andy Reid has lived on especially when he was in Philadelphia. They lived on like offenses that didn't have the greatest receivers. I mean, James Thrash, Pinkerton, Freddie Mitchell, the People's Champ, Chad Hall, the skier. Brian Westbrook out the backfield was like one of their best receivers in Philadelphia. And they brought T.O. and they got over the hump. So he's know how to do more with less. We'll see Marquez Valdez Scantley. Remember him from the NFC North with Aaron Rodgers. He have a second year. Patrick Mahomes did some really good things with him. So Toney, Sky Moore, Marquez Scantley, Justin, Watson, Justin Ross is, all these guys out here. So they'll rotate these receivers in, and then, defensively what they bring to the table. George Kafalitis, and a lot of these other guys, I'm not sure. I like Trent McDuffie, who was out of Washington a couple years ago. They starting corner L'Jarius Sneed is on the questionable list with the injury. We just talked about that. So really, Nick Bolton is a really good linebacker. I think they got him out of Missouri or something like that. So they got some solid guys, but without Chris Jones, man, I don't know how they gonna make it. But we'll see. We'll see. But Chris Jones makes the game easier for all the other 10 other guys on defense. I mean, shit, all the other 30 guys on the football team. What he does and what the penetration that he provides in the middle is huge. So, if I'm Kansas City, the key to victory offensively is running the ball, getting it to Travis Kelce, working the middle of the field, inside, outside the numbers, and getting the ball down the field to your big explosive receivers or your explosive receivers in Valdez, Scanley, Kadarius Toney, Scott Moore, and Justin Ross. And defensively for them, it's just that, you want to stop the run. You want to tackle in space when you get guys like Laporta, St. Brown, um, who else I was going to say, Jahmyr Gibbs in space. You want to be able to tackle those guys in space. And if you don't make those open field tackles, before you blink, it's going to be six for them. So for them, stop the run, tackle in space, and make Jared Goff, read defenses and go through defenses for them. And you got to win the special teams battle. So I think that's the key to victory for Kansas City. Now going to the Lions, you're gonna have to go against a raucous crowd. So obviously you're gonna have to make sure your hand signals and y'all prepare for the raucous crowd because they're gonna be getting their banners. But the best way to take the crowd out is to run the football and pick up first downs. That's the best. That's to be their number one game plan offensively is running the ball with David Montgomery, running the ball with Jahmyr Gibbs, um, put a hat on the hat and shove it right down Kansas City throat. Pause. That's the best way to cover to get that crowd out the way. Then what you want to do is you want to get Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery in the screen game, St. Brown in the short screen game. Laporta, you want to just get your ball to your playmakers quick, hot and quick, get them in space, force Kansas City to make open fields tackles. Um, you know, uh, then you probably want to do play action and get down the field or whatever like that. So, um, that would be my game plan. I would like to see get them run the ball, take the crowd of it, short passing games, your playmakers, um, make your playmakers, make Kansas City tackle your playmakers in space. You know, make your playmakers make plays in space, and that's kind of how I would attack it. And then, moving forward from that, defensively, I just think, it's hard to say because you want to take away stop the run, take away Travis Kelce, and make Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, and Valdez Scanley beat you down the field. But the problem with that is if they start beating you down the field and they start getting chunk and explosive plays, the game can get out of whack quick. So what I would do, I would just try to keep everything in front of me, play bend don't break defense, try to make Patrick Mahomes um, go through his progressions, and when I come down, I would say keep Patrick Mahomes in front, keep the playmakers in front of you, and just tackle them. But you could bracket, Travis Kelce, stop the run, bracket Travis Kelce, and then make the playmakers on the outside beat you. So I mean, but if they clicking and Mahomes and Scott Moore and Kadarius Toney clicking, they could be putting up a light show real quick on that scoreboard. So you could be conservative and say and play and keep everything in front of you and come down and tackle and hope for make Mahomes go through progressions and throw a picks and fumbles, or it could be a little bit more aggressive, stop the run, double Travis Kelce on the outside, make them beat you one on one, and hope that your pass rush get there. So those would be the two game plans they choose. I'd be a little bit more conservative because I'm gonna go out there and run the rock, get my playmakers in space, eat the clock up, take the crowd of it, play clock management, keep this game a low scoring game, and then hopefully we get to the end and we have a chance to win it on Kansas City. But I got Kansas City winning 34 to like 17. I don't really think it's gonna be competitive. I think they put the Lions in the bad spot once again to get embarrassed. Um, And I think this is what it's about. Didn't play a lot of preseason. Didn't play any starter preseason snaps, did they? I don't think none of the starters really played offensively last year. That was a problem. They came out a little bit lethargic. I think it will continue to be a problem. You need those preseason snaps. Some in practice snaps is not enough. You got different guys out there like Jameer Gibbs, David Montgomery. It's different in live action. Sam Laporta, you're gonna be pretty much James Mitchell played a little bit last year. He gonna be brand new to the scheme, and I just think, in my humble opinion, they needed a dress rehearsal, and I think that rust is gonna show. And I just think they've been put in a spot to be embarrassed. I think they will get embarrassed. I think the hype will die Thursday. But I think they will probably put their third wheel down and recover and win some more games this year. But I just think bare minimum what you're gonna get is a moral victory from the fans, and that's SOL. A loss is a loss. And a loss will show that nothing changed in Detroit, and nothing is going to change until they stop losing games like this. And I think you got to build towards that. I don't think that just happens overnight. And for the last 2 years, some people think they've been building towards it. But I don't think it will be the night where all that culminate and they get over the hump. I'm already planning to go to bed early. So yeah, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, and I know they selling y'all hope and all that, but they should have put Chicago in this spot or somebody like this. But in my humble opinion, I mean, who last team to lose on ring night? I'm not sure. Banner night, whatever they call it in football. I'm not sure. But I got Kansas City winning, but I do think Chris Jones playing is not playing is huge. But I got them winning 34-17. Don't really see. I don't like the spot right here for Detroit. I don't like the spot. But yeah, check out Detroit Lions talk playlist. Check out Detroit Lions prediction playlist. For more videos like this, hit the link tree. You can find me on X, aka Twitter, TikTok, Spotify, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. I appreciate y'all. Anchor as well too. Everything's in the link tree. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Peace.